So why are we here? I asked this question in the last video. Why are we here? We're here for two reasons. This is going to be my new mantra. You know, when I would go to Brick World Chicago, people would say, hey, Jim, let's hear you say, go out and get it, right? That's over, all right? We're here for two reasons. We're here to win, and we're here to make money. Times are tough right now. COVID is one thing. This is another. Everybody, welcome to the Wolf of Bricks YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe if you want. If you don't, that's okay. Everybody should know the drill. But in the end, it would mean a lot to me, so I appreciate it. So before we get into the Amazon hardgating, and we have a lot to talk about, we're going to make this video short, of course. I encourage you, if you haven't watched the last video, to go ahead and look at it. The thumbnail is not as attractive as it usually is because I don't know how to make a bunch of coins look attractive. As of this moment, it has less than 1,000 views, and that's a good thing because I'm sharing with everybody how to buy $4 Technic sets, and it's one of my least watched videos in the last 2 months, and that's fine. I mean, I'm trying to lead a horse to water. If you don't want to drink from it, that is fine. Now, I am going to answer a couple questions because I feel like, and I can't prove it, but I do feel like that there are some new viewers, new Lego investors, some curious, maybe potential resellers. And there was some questions from the last video, and I'm gonna answer them real quick, and then we're gonna get on to Amazon hardgating because it's a new time here. It's 2025, and why are we here? We're here to win, and we're here to make money. There should be 8 months that everybody should be preparing for Q4. But what about that 9th month? Well, that's easy. The 9th month, you kind of break that down as, in January, you take a couple weeks to let the dust settle, you kind of learn, you work on your taxes, and you do all this other stuff, right? So nobody is crying about being hard-gated right now, which is a great thing. But if this is going through your head right now and you weren't proactive, you were reactive, and your inventory this upcoming Q4 is held hostage by Amazon, you have no one to blame but yourself. That's it. So we're going to answer some questions first. The first question is, this nice commenter says, makes sense for the credit card bonuses, but that means you're going through a lot of credit cards. That's true. Does that mean you are canceling the credit cards after just keeping them around? The short answer is yes. There are some other questions, and I may not read them. There are some other questions that are like, well, doesn't that affect your credit score if you keep on opening up these credit cards? The answer is yes. Here's the deal, folks. I got 2 cars that are paid off, and I have a mortgage that I don't plan on selling anytime soon. I don't plan on selling the house. So I can't, the highest credit score I ever had was 799. There are times that it will go down, and it's been a while since I've done this, but it will go from 799 all the way to 550, right? Because I'm taking advantage of the 0% APR. Now, I'm not the person that I was a few years ago. I'm, again, on the back 9 of things. But if you want it, go ahead and do it. Now, there was a person that asked, are you opening up business accounts? No, I have one business account. I've had the same business account for years. And here's the deal. You don't even need to necessarily open up credit cards. You can. But if you open up just a regular checking account, a personal checking account, and you do the required things and you get that $600 bonus, that's how you get Technic sets for $4. Now, there was a person that asked me about crypto. I don't know that answer. I, at best, cost dollar average crypto, and that's it. And here's the deal, man. I think I'm done answering those questions. We're just going to move on to the Amazon hardgating. We are in tumultuous times, and you need to ask yourself, is it going to get to you, or is it not going to get to you? Okay, we have the stock market going down, right? Everybody's losing money. Everybody's, puckering up their butthole, right? Because they don't know what to do. Nobody is going out and buying Legos. Well, guess what? I'm going out and buying Legos. I bought a ton of Legos. I recently shared my inventory with the VIP members. What else do? We put together a hit list for the end of the year. The VIP members, they are hardcore tough. But here's the thing, man. Moving forward from this moment on, I'm only purchasing things to sell on eBay and other platforms that are not Amazon. Here is something that made me very angry last night, and I'm going to share this because this person doesn't watch my videos, right? He's a VIP member, and he's only there for the live streams, and that's fine. So some people are just there to make a donation and say, we don't ever want you to talk to me. We just love the content, and I'm appreciative of that too. But I said to him, listen, I said, everything that I'm buying from now on is not through a Amazon prism. It is going to be through eBay and various other platforms. There are other platforms out there. There are platforms that some people don't know. And I've had this one guy who has been trying to get the platform that I sell on for the longest time, and I'm not going to answer him. He thinks he's a smart guy, but he's not that smart. But anyway, so I'm having this conversation with this VIP member, and this is a smart reseller. This guy makes a lot of money. And he said to me, well, why are you going to sell on eBay if you're able to make more money on Amazon? And my blood started boiling because I thought he was smarter than this, right? And I've had people in the comments section below mention this a couple times. Well, you're able to sell for a higher price on Amazon, which is true to a point. In the past, and you got to check out the archives, in the past I've done videos where you could find certain Lego sets that sell at the same price as Amazon and eBay, no problem, right? Here's the thing. If I buy a Lego set that has a regular retail price of $60 and I'm able to pick it up for $30, okay? And I'm able to sell it on eBay for $120, I could care less what it's going for on Amazon. I don't care if it's $150. I don't care if it's $200. I didn't care that the TIE Fighter helmets were going above $200. I had a sell price, right? And I stuck to it. So let's talk about the Amazon hardgating. And I am hopeful that there are some people that will comment below and they will go ahead and share their story. Because let me tell you, it was a hard gating, right? At the end of last year, and it wasn't just Lego, it was Hasbro, it was a lot of things. I had this reseller friend of mine who he messaged me and he said he got about $20,000 of Hasbro sent back to his house. He didn't request it, he didn't reclaim it. Amazon just sent it back and said, here you go, right? So Amazon, that tells me that Amazon is changing their approach, right? They're only going to be going after high dollar inventory resellers. Now, fortunately, for better or for worse, I guess it's for better, I was never hard gated, right? There was this one reseller that I would say is close in my circle that was, and they had more inventory than me. And I said, damn, if this person got hard gated, what does that say? And they said they're out of the business. They've been doing this for over 10 years. And it is what it is. So if you are starting to get into Lego with a couple $100, couple $1,000, and God love you if you are. I started with $800. You have to start somewhere. Anytime somebody says, I purchased $1,000 worth of Lego, they need to be congratulated because they have more courage than most people, right? So, I'm not poo-pooing on them. I'm congratulating them. But you may want to consider an alternative plan to selling to Amazon. This video really isn't even a what can you do to avoid being hard gated on Amazon. The only advice I could give is the higher inventory level you have, the more likely you are to not be hard gated, right? So what are we doing between January now and Q4, right? We're preparing for it. This is the time to do a drastic pivot and say to yourself, maybe I shouldn't be selling on Amazon anymore. I was making a lot of money when I wasn't selling on Amazon. I couldn't be happier. The only reason why I started selling on Amazon and sending it to a fulfillment center was because I was tired of staying up until 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and just doing that process. I needed a break, and now we are in the midst where, in case for those of you that don't know, or if you care, we still have a warehouse, but it's not moving back here. I'm not reclaiming any inventory, but all of the new inventory is coming to my city, and it's going to be in a safe place, and that's what's going to happen to it, and it is what it is. So I'm just going to read some text from a popular Lego forum, and I'm just going to read what they said. This is dated December 2nd, 2024. I just found out Amazon has brand gated me to sell Lego products without any explanations, remedy, or time frame. I don't even have a apply to sell button when I try to add a product. I had been selling for years and over 1,000 sets, and my account health has always been in good standing with only a handful of returns. I really don't understand where this is coming from. Does anybody have similar experience? And so on and so on. There was a reply a day later. A month ago, Amazon started brand gating sellers that had been inactive for some period of time, along with new sellers. It is not clear whether it is temporary and will lift after Q4 or is permanent, or at least as permanent as Amazon ever is. Now, here's the deal. There was a hard gating 2 years ago, right? 2 Q4s ago. And it seemed like that was a temporary thing, and come mid-January, everything was back to the way it was. This time, not only was there inventory that was held hostage for a certain period of time, we're now in March. No, I'm sorry, we're now in April. It just turned April. It's April 4th. And there are some people that have been hard gated and can't go back. You need to prepare for it. That's the point of the video. You need to prepare for it. This is the downtime, right? There are some people that are able to sell year-round, and if you're selling year-round on Amazon and you feel good, I'm not saying not to feel good, but you need to look behind your back, because there's probably going to be more stories about this upcoming November and December. I'm going to read one more. So instead of putting this video out this upcoming October, November, and December, I thought it would be beneficial to put it out now. So everybody, if you haven't started planning, you can go ahead and start planning for alternative places to sell your products. How do you do that? Well, you purchase certain things that you know are going to do well on eBay and other platforms that do well on Amazon. Not everything does well on eBay. Duplo, there's very little Duplo that does well on eBay, but there is lots of Duplo that does very well on Amazon. Speed Champions, it's kind of, and I'm talking about a few years back, there are some Speed Champion sets that can do just as good on eBay as Amazon. And then there are other Speed Champion sets that will only do well if you sell them in bundles of 2, 3, or 4. So you need to do due diligence. And I don't want to sound like that angry stepdad that no one likes listening to. I hear people continue to say that they miss the arm sweep days where they could just go in, they could arm sweep a bunch of Legos and have it go up in value and not have to worry about it. Since that time, there have been 5, 6, 7, 8 things that you've needed to pivot in your business in order to be successful. And if that's something you don't want to do, I don't want to say you don't belong here. I had this person in the comment section. He said on a previous video recently, he said, it sounds like Jim's doing nothing but crying, and he's complaining about all these resellers getting in his way. I'm not saying that. I hit over 1 million in sales, all-time sales this past Q4, and I had my second best Q4 ever. So I'm not here to cry. I'm just here trying to warn you. And we've talked about this. There are some VIP members that have strictly only sold on eBay. There are some YouTubers that have only sold on eBay, even in 2025. There are also some Lego reselling channels that no longer sell on Amazon and eBay, but they act like they do. And of course, they'll never show their inventory. But that's it, folks. I want everybody to get out of here. This really wasn't meant to bring people down. This was meant to lift people up and to have everybody start thinking about what to do this upcoming Q4. That's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, go ahead and like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with WolfOfBricks.com. Always go out there and get it.